other conservatives, like the neocon conservatives, right? They're in two separate parties now. So what happens? The socialists go right up the middle, and you had Stammer, and you have this new guy. They split themselves apart. So I think the Dems are looking at that and saying, we can't let these commies go. We need them because we need their 25, 30% of the base to compete against the Republicans.
Yeah. And when you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. And when you stand for something terrible, you get locked into it, and you have to keep doing more and more terrible things because that's all you're about. And they let it go. They let these terrible people. They let Mamdani in because they couldn't get Cuomo. They would have loved if all the stupid idiots, especially our Republican Party, telling people to vote for Cuomo, put him in. But no, they had to go with Mamdani. It's like it's fine. And then he endorses 3 people and they all win, and they're like, well, it's fine. And then the next thing you know, Michigan Senate seat, well, this is fine. It's not. And just like I love watching New York burn. Shout out to our mayor. I call him Pontius Pilate because he's trying to kill the head Jew. I mean, just like you see the things, this city burning, everything in the Democratic Party is burning, and they weren't ready for this.
You know what happens when you let the camel's nose under the tent? The camel gets in there and poops in the tent, since we're on the poop stuff today.
Sure.
And boy, it's stinking up the joint. But you want to know how dangerous this is? Hey, Bill in the booth, let's put on their platform on the screen here so all you fine folks can see what they're really all about. Oh, no, we're not commies. We just want that, Swedish socialism, you got the glasses on. Make this thing a little bigger here. I can't even see it, but I can
the DSA's new policy platform, eliminating the United States Senate. But that's a great idea.
Oh,
that's a great idea.
Nothing too radical there.
Yeah.
Let's just eliminate the Senate.
Replace the president and Supreme Court with executive and judiciary chosen, by and subordinate. Hold on. Chosen by.
Blow this thing up.
Defund the Department of War.
Who
needs a Department of War when you're destroying the country from within?
No more Defense Department. No more Senate. No more presidency. No more Supreme Court. Get into the next asset. We're not done yet. Open borders. Get the next one, Bill. Open borders. Shut down ICE. Allow people to come in at all times. Do not deport the pedophiles or the rapists. How about Walz, the governor of Minnesota?
There we go. Look at you trying. Hi, Cat Tim.
Look at the wonderful Cat Tim. But he blew it up. Good.
There you go.
But what was it? Walz, the guy. You talk about a commie, right? He prevents a child rapist from being evicted, from being pushed out of the country. And he says, oh, well, do you all want to be judged on your worst day?
Yeah.
This guy's a lunatic.
And because again, they run out of things to say. And they're like, well, let me just try the best platitude here. Oh, you get judged on your worst day? Well, I hate to tell you, but that pedophile said that was his best day. You understand? Because he's a sicko, and you just gave him a free get-out-of-jail-free card. It's insane what they say. And the only thing that makes it crazy is people go, yeah, why you gotta be such an asshole about it? Why, like he's just it was his worst day. Get them all out. Get them all out. And if you don't believe me, if you don't, you saw the options. Can you put that back up one sec? A 32-hour work week with full pay and benefits. I can't weigh in on that because I haven't had a job in 20, 30 years. Establish universal rent control, end ICE detention and deportation. What's the line that the woman said? Socialism is great until you run out of other people's money.
That's
and let me explain what's going on with kids today. I'll sound like that old guy.
Oh, the kids. Get off my lawn. Get off Gino's lawn.
Because I have a lawn. I don't. But they're saying, well, since I can't afford a house of my own, since I'm in so much debt from the sham that was college, and I can't make any money, I want yours. And then these idiots come in and go like, I'll get them your money.
Isn't that what this movement is all about? It's class envy started by Bernie Sanders, the oligarchs. Bernie Sanders.
Is that your Bernie Sanders thing?
That's my Bernie Sanders, okay?
I love this
Bernie
guy.
Sanders. Who has 3 freaking houses? He used to say, those damn millionaires. Why can't he say that anymore?
He's a millionaire.
He's a millionaire.
So let's go after the billionaires.
Go after the billionaires, right? How about Ro Connor? You gotta love this guy.
250 million. He has so much money that he has, I forget if it's 2 or 3 children, and they own golf courses. Ro Connor doesn't. His kids do. I wonder if that's a tax write-off. And fine, God bless you for using the system, but stop acting like you're one of them, like you're a socialist because you got 250 million. Tell you what, nice round number. Why don't you donate 50 million to all these causes? You still get to keep 200 mil. No. You want the working class's money. You piece of garbage.
The nerve of this guy, the hypocrisy, the gall. He goes around on the anti-Elon tour saying, no one should be a trillionaire. Anyone having that kind of money, you need a wealth tax 5% of their wealth, and think of all the hospitals and the schools you can fund and the student loan forgiveness. And then it comes out, Ro Connor is worth about $500 million.
I thought it was 250. Is it 500?
He's making like 250. Like in a year, they're making that. His
I feel like I insulted him.
Yeah,
Steve, I owe him an apology.
But that's not enough to really tax. It reminds me of I forget the guy's name. Bill up there, you might know. Kim Kardashian's newest flame. He's a race car driver. I don't know his name.
I don't know.
The guy makes $500 million.
I feel like that was gay bait. Like if I knew it immediately. Hey, who's Kim Kardashian's boyfriend? Well, I don't know. I was too busy moping that I wasn't invited to Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift's wedding. Go on, back to you.
How we segue into that, I have absolutely no idea. But that's what you get with Gino. What's his name?
Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis Hamilton. Okay. So this guy is out there saying, no one should be a billionaire. And someone says, hey, dude, you know that chick you're waking up to every day? She's worth $2 billion. And that's okay.
She deserves to be. I'm telling you, she deserves to be. She marketed herself well. She knew what she was doing.
Yeah, that's what's called the free market system.
It's capitalism.
And I want to get into this.
And she spelled capitalism with a capital W-H-O-R-E. Am I right? We
almost made it through. That is not the official position of this.
She's been in a lot of official positions. Am I right?
Oh, my God. We're going to be thrown off. All right. I want to talk about capitalism. We should stop using the word capitalism. Well, it's not happening again. Capitalism, we have to start using the word free enterprise because it polls a lot better. Because capitalism gives you the connotation of the monopoly guy with the monocle. But we're going to talk
Rich
about
Uncle
that.
Pennybags.
We're going to talk about that in 3 minutes on the right side. We'll see you then, if we're still allowed on the air.
Most people think they have options when searching for the best deals when they travel. But here's the shocking truth. 100% of the major travel agencies are owned by just 2 entities, Expedia and Booking Holdings. They claim to offer the lowest rates, but due to the hotel rate parity agreement, they all have the same pricing, limiting genuine competition. When you book through these sites, you act as your own travel agent, but the profits are going to organizations that don't support our patriot values. We cannot allow that to continue. So, we decided to make travel great again by starting a US-based travel membership platform, mypatriottravel.com. We are patriots helping patriots. Together, we can disrupt the travel industry by not spending our hard-earned dollars supporting the radical left. For just $29.99 per month, you gain access to true wholesale rates on travel, saving you on average 35% and up to 65%. Book as often as you like, with no limits. Keep your hard-earned dollars in your pocket and spend them on things you need and want to support. Go to mypatriottravel.com/TAFW and grab your membership today. mypatriottravel.com/TAFW. Making travel great again.
Are you a true American? Then it's time to get connected. Download the America First Media and Television app and stay up to date with real news, bold voices, and live events from the America First Warehouse. From national broadcasts and exclusive shows to comedy nights, concerts, and special events. It's all right at your fingertips. No filters, no spin, just America First. Download the America First Media and Television app today and be part of the movement.
I'm sure you guys remember the platinum single, Justice for All, with Donald Trump and the J6 Prison Choir. We'll get ready for round 2. We're coming out with Anthem of the Free with High Res and the J6 Prison Choir. It's coming out now. It's pre-sale until December 19th when it drops. Get yours on all platforms, Google Play, Apple iTunes. Get it. It's going to be hot.
Justice for all, our voices ring. The anthem of the free.
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see. A symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free. In the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
Hey, we're back, folks, on the Right Side Podcast. I'm Steve Levy, your host here every Wednesday, 4 p.m. live from the America First Warehouse. I'm a former Suffolk County executive, former New York State assemblyman, and I'm the executive director of the fiscally conservative think tank Center for Cost-Effective Government. We're every Wednesday. Thank you, Joe the Box. He'll join us in 15 minutes. But holding up the fort is the one, the only, the now banned Gino Bisconti.
I thought it was a nice offset. You work for a think tank. I just got out of the drunk tank. We go from there.
Woo.
Huh?
And dun-dun-dun.
Thank you.
Gino will be playing where in Boca Raton?
Sad Man Comedy Cafe this Saturday with Keanu C. Thompson, my lovely wife, David Sadman, and Nadeem Awad. I will be at Boca Raton Sadman Comedy Club Saturday night.
I may have to fly down for that one.
It's a party, dude.
All right, so we were talking about commies and, you know, the real fear that the Democratic Party is being taken over by communists. And the bigger fear, Gino, is that our youth is indoctrinated with this garbage. And, you know, propaganda is a really dangerous thing. And I used to wonder, like, when I was growing up, how could the German population, Germans are good people, hardworking people, decent people, how could they have allowed Hitler not only to take control, but to then, you know, idolize this guy as he was fomenting. Fomenting,
you said it.
Fomenting.
I got some fermenting in my trunk.
Ferment is wine. Foment,
Yes.
as he was fomenting all of these horrific things around the world. And the answer is propaganda, because if you're just bombarded with one side, you don't know history, you're not getting the other side. We are the good guys, they are evil. You just show the other side doing evil. You can convince good people to do terrible things. And we're seeing that now with our very impressionable youth that are coming up through Marxist educational systems where the Marxist professors are indoctrinating them to hate America. And then you got TikTok, which is controlled by the Chinese Communist Party and the crazy lefties who control our social media. And these young kids are coming up hating their country, thinking Israel is the bad guys and Hamas are the good guys, and they're pro-Marxist, anti-free markets. It's a scary, scary thing. And what are we going to do to combat this, dude?
Well, I mean, once again, it gets back. I have no right to say this, but it gets back to parenting. You know what I mean? Like, parents right now, I would argue, are the last link between when people had to work for a living and now when literally I was talking to some, watch this, some very intelligent. I was talking to a Florida politician, you know, the only Gen Z one, Maxwell Frost, and he kept saying, oh, Gen Z, they're hardworking. They all have a side gig.
Yeah,
and
they're influencers.
Yes, and that's what I said. I said TikTok or OnlyFans is not a side gig. You said it all fair. You said OnlyFans is more of an on-your-back gig. That's what you said. right? And this is what they think work is, and work is not. And again, this is me saying it, but I've had jobs in my life. And you get up and you go to a place and you do something, and parents need to teach their kids that, because now they're just like, well, I don't have any money, and I'm just going to do this, and it didn't pan out, so I'm going to vote for this guy. Why? Because he's going to give me money. He's going to give me your money.
And you've held some of those jobs, some of them at least 2 weeks at a time. That's what I heard.
rounded up. I rounded up.
So you want to see an interesting stat? Bill, get the asset on here. Who voted for communist Mandami in New York City in this last election?
Every liberal woman.
People think, oh, it's those poor black and Hispanic folks, right? Nah, think again. Andrew Cuomo won the lower educated, lower earning minorities. Who voted for Mandani? The rich white kids. The white kids who
don't want to pay their student loans.
That's exactly it. They went through, got a master's degree in gender studies.
Yep.
It's totally worthless.
Yep.
They can't get a good paying job, and they're seeing the plumber and the electrician making $200 grand, and they're saying, boy, this capitalism sucks.
Yeah.
It's not what I thought it was going to be. I was supposed to have this great job doing whatever, to have my cool penthouse apartment by now, or my big 5-bedroom house with the big lawn, and I don't have it. I'm still dependent on mama for my credit card, and they say, this system stinks. We need Mr. Mandami to come in here and take care of me. Isn't that what it's all about?
Yeah. And and it's not only that they're like, you know, when we were growing up, you're like, oh, I'm going to vote for this guy because I like what he stands for, I like this. They feel entitled to what they're being promised. Okay, like when we were voting, you know, we would vote for a candidate. It's like, I'm voting for Trump. Why? Because I hope he's going to close the border. I'm voting for Trump because I hope he's going to bring down prices and all of this.
I'm voting for the communists to take care of me.
Yeah, I'm voting, and you know what? You owe me this. Why? Because you did this to me. And nothing is their fault. And when you've got that victim mentality and you're hoping for someone to save you, and somebody rolls in and be like, just vote for me, I've got all this other people's money. That's what they do. And then you wind up here. You wind up here, and then you wind up with Islamic writing on badges in Minnesota as they get ready to elect a Muslim senator.
Well, you know, it's funny because a lot of these young, impressionable people are ignorant to history, number one, and they don't understand how the economy works, and they buy into the Marxist crap that it was capitalism, and again, I'd rather use the word free enterprise, but they say capitalism that is causing you all this pain and unaffordability, right? Yeah. Let's look at why we have unaffordability, okay? Could it be that it happens to be something germane to blue states? How about, let's start with the fact that bad democratic policies, lefty liberal policies, are causing your unaffordability. Illegal immigration, folks, when you let 15 million people cross over the border and give them an EBT card and give them free health care and let them go into universities and start flooding the housing market, you know what happens? Prices go up. Yeah. There was a federal study that just came out that said of the rent increases that have been going skyrocketing over the last couple of years, 20% of that is due to the market being flooded by illegals. 30% of the increase in housing costs is because illegals are competing for that stock. But the average person out there is not saying, oh, that's what caused my unaffordability.
Well, not only that, think about this, and you saw it in New York, I'm sure you saw it in other cities, when the Biden administration was putting up these illegal immigrants in hotels. So our tax dollars are paying for their hotel room. So when people come to visit New York, they're like, since they're already filled up, they're like, you know, we'll do with the remaining hotel rooms will charge $500-$600 a night. And not only that, the places that they're renting, they're same thing. Our money goes to pay their rent, and then that allows the landlord to be like, I'll charge a lot more money.
That's exactly right.
It's exactly right.
So you're going to
So
work.
I'm voting for them because they're going to control rent. I've changed my mind.
You're going to work to pay for an illegal alien to come here to get welfare, to stay at home, and to watch their kids. It's unbelievable. Then you got blue states, the crazy climate policies that have made, like states like New York, have a 50% increase in their electric rates over the last 6 years. We pay 70% more here in New York than they do the national average for electric because of blue Democratic policies, okay? Then, why can't you afford a home? Another reason, because interest rates are 6.5%. Why did interest rates that were under 2%, around 2% when Trump came in, left office, went up to 6.5% under Biden? Because they spent trillions of dollars, created inflation, and the Fed says we have to yank the interest rates.
They printed more money in that administration to give away to people that were staying home on the COVID dole. And not only that, most of that money we're seeing how much of that was fraudulently used during COVID. It's why they shut down the Medicare graft in Minnesota and Los Angeles. These are all the things that go on, and the line I always use is the people on the left never finish the sentence. And the sentence they keep saying is, what has Trump done for affordability? And I say, finish the sentence. What has Trump done for affordability to drive down the prices that were driven so high during the Biden administration when they printed money and inflation went wild? More wild than your old lady on a weekend, am I right?
Oh, you are so in trouble. You are so in trouble.
Is she watching? Is she? My wife isn't
Thank
watching.
God she doesn't. So, we were talking about like the Nepo babies and the rich upper middle class whites who are the biggest proponents of the socialism. I don't know if you saw this, a mayor of Seattle. She's like 40 years old. She never worked. She never had a job.
Not.
And she comes into office and she's, freezing the rents and she's doing this and that. Dan Goldman, the guy who just got bounced in New York City by Ladner, right? He was an heir to the Levi's fortune, okay? So all of these, radical lefties, Elizabeth Warren, multi-millionaire, they all want us to live by the sacrifices that will be entailed with social, but not them. So it's like they want gun control, but not for their armed guards. They want you to have to go to a failing public school while their kids go to the best private schools, right? Isn't that the way? It's rules for thee, but not for me.
It's the more they get away with, the more arrogant. It's Hunger Games. It's the more they get away with, the more they just look at us in shock when we push back in the slightest way. And that's why they literally, I said it, and we'll talk about it more after the break if you'd like, but Trump's speech not being televised on all of, isn't the basis of a democracy, a constitutional republic, is a free and fair press. And they got away so long with Joe Biden never being on the air that no one really noticed.
What a disgrace. But we're going to talk about that and other things about free enterprise and why it's better than socialism. And the guy who's going to prove it to us more than anybody else is Joe the Box. He's the proprietor here. He's going to have a seat right here. He's going to talk about how he came from nothing, him and his family created this amazing business, and that's what free markets are all about. See you in 2 minutes.
Woohoo.
The America First Ultra MAGA Store. For all your MAGA needs. We sell t-shirts, tumblers, flags, hats, sneakers, bumper stickers, and a whole lot more. The most patriotic, America First retail store. The America First Ultra MAGA Store.
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free in the America. waiting.
Hey, Paul, I was having a pillow fight with Gino's wife.
Me too.
Yeah.
She's
I
not
was
supposed
there.
to stay
I
up that
remember.
late.
I have the video. And now let me tell you, talk about soft. When I think soft pillows, I think of other than Gino's wife, mypillow.com, because these are the best pillows you're ever going to get. You can go to mypillow.com /TAFW. Go now, get your My Pillow right now.
Are you a true American? Then it's time to get connected. Download the America First Media and Television app and stay up to date with real news, bold voices, and live events from the America First Warehouse. From national broadcasts and exclusive shows to comedy nights, concerts, and special events. It's all right at your fingertips. No filters, no spin, just America First. Download the America First Media and Television app today.
You know, I got to tell you, a lot of my followers are asking, hey, Midnight, where are you getting all that energy from? I say, you want to know the truth? I take about 25 milligrams of Adderall a day. But that eventually ends, and then that's where Agara coffee comes in. I start drinking this stuff, and it boosts my energy. It shoots me right through to the moon. If you're not drinking Agara coffee, and you need that extra boost during the middle of the day, I'm telling you right now, get this into your system, and I promise you that it will absolutely take you to a whole nother level. Midnight, I am out. 1, 2, 3. Woo!
America First Warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed, because there is nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country. You got some brain.
All right, we're back, folks.
Not
On the
really.
Right Side podcast.
The boss is here, just that cool. Hey, buddy.
Pay attention.
I was just sitting here behaving, and he was saying vulgar
never
things.
behave.
He was
Everybody knows
vulgar.
that's fake news.
Well, I wanted to say who I was because you know these two guys. You might not know me. Steve Levy, former county executive, New York State Assemblyman. Gino Bisconti.
Hey, buddy.
He says he's a comedian. That's
He's the
what-
last Italian in New York. There's no more after him.
There's no more Little
That's
Italy.
right.
We talked about that.
That's it.
There's no Little Italy.
There's some of them in Boca, along with
we'll find a few.
the Jewish crowd there. But Joe the Box is the man who puts this all together. And if you have never been to his creation here, the America First Warehouse, which is the museum for patriots, you are missing something. If you get here to Long Island, visit this place. Thank you, Joe, for this platform and for what you do, spreading the word for patriots, my friend.
Steve Levy, you are a inspiration and a hero to me. I've watched you as I was paid a little bit of attention to politics, but you were always one that I liked what you said. I felt that you were truthful in how you came across. I think you did a good job as a supervisor.
Ooh, that
That's-
came
I
out
saw
of left
with
field.
that one. I
That was,
saw
that
with
was
that
pretty good, Gino. Thank you for
Guy knows his
sending
shit.
that check earlier this morning.
It's not going to clear, so
Did
better
you-
save it.
Once it bounces, I'm in trouble because Joe's taking it all back.
I heard that whatever you was paying Gino, you was going to double for me.
That's
what I
right.
was excited about.
Exactly it. That's the line I
exactly
used
10
before.
times 0.
All right. So we're
Infinitely
talking.
more.
We wanted Joe on today because it's a really important juncture in our society today. America, we all agree, is the greatest nation in on God's green earth ever. Before America, you were born into this world. And whatever station you were born into, you would die in that station. You would not move up. And what changed the world? Free markets changed the world, where the pie could grow and everyone could have a bigger piece of it. And the type of democracy that was fostered by our Constitution really created the spark for free enterprise to flourish. And I like to use the word free enterprise because when you say capitalism, it gives that connotation of the exploited. When you say free enterprise, it's thinking of the sons and daughters of immigrants who want to open up their own business, like Joe the Box did. And you don't have to be dependent on someone else. You can go as high as your hard work will bring you.
Yeah.
And Joe, that's your story. I mean, you and your family, you didn't come from riches. You did it with your hard work, and you made this into a phenomenon.
Well, the America First Warehouse has kind of like happened through the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ. But being in business happened through, I grew up in a very rough neighborhood, Dix Hills, if you haven't heard of it. It's in the center of Long Island. The average income in 1975 had to be about $300,000, which wasn't a lot of money in today's numbers, but back then it was nice. My father, who slept in a car in 1957.
That's what I was talking about, the family.
It's my father's legacy that he's the
I
one that
slept
blew
in a
me
car
away.
till about 6:57 this morning.
Yes, I know. I hope it makes it
Thanks
in
for
next
waking
Tuesday.
me up this morning. It was nice. Shows up in my car with coffee. I watch the sunrise over the dashboard. I should probably let you talk.
It's all right, Chino. But my dad, Joe Sr., he had built a moving company, Allied Van Lines, one of the largest mega trucks and trucking company in the nation. He was in the top 10. He had went from sleeping in his car over his years and building a business through quality and perfection. He always told me every job you have to do, Joe, has to be perfect. You don't want anything wrong, and if there is, you have to attack it and fix it right away.
And hard work and taking chances.
Well, moving and storage business is brutal, bro. Bed bugging, they call it, and I had moved stick for many years. I had trucks I ran down. It kept me 500 miles because they knew I shouldn't go too much further than that. I might not come back. But my father, who slept in a car, happened to be a 1956 T-Bird when he was alone in a car.
Not bad. It's not too bad.
I think he wishes he kept that.
Wasn't that the one Suzanne Summers was in American Graffiti, the T-Bird, rolling down?
Yes, that's right. That was the
That's
T-Bird,
right
57.
at the cusp for me, American
Yeah,
Graffiti.
you're a little.
But
you know,
his time
you're only
frame
tw-
in this
22
planet,
years old.
his time frame on this earth and being an entrepreneur and a builder and understanding what quality meant was in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s is when he really cranked it up under Ronald Reagan. But he was, no college, dropout. He was a Marine. So he was the American dream. The American dream was available to everybody from 1950 till about 2016. 2016, it was great. When Donald Trump became the president, my personal business, I run my own moving company. I learned from my father, and I started my own in 2005. Had to deal with the Obama administration, which is abysmal and despicable how he ran. Trump is a businessman. He came in 2016, and my sales soared. We were doing so well, moving household goods. It was.
But can I say, Joe, and this is what the young people have to understand. When your business soars, you get to pay your employees more. You get to hire more employees. It really is a trickle-down effect. That's what capitalism and free enterprise is. When government gets out of the way, lets you succeed, lets Elon succeed, lets the average entrepreneur succeed, the economy picks up and the entire pie grows for everyone, right?
What I love is all the corporate taxes and personal taxes that I have paid into the government, how wonderfully and wisely they spend. So here's an example of entrepreneurship and capitalism and business. What you have is a communist takeover of the country. They're running the government for their own benefit. They're not running it for we the people. Now, Donald Trump was a businessman. His whole life he was. He built skyscrapers. I'd say I know what a great guy he was because one of my old timers that was with me, we did a job in Trump Tower. It was raining, and Trump happened to be on the loading dock. We were dumping, I don't know what it was we were delivering, and he said, "These guys are wet. Take their coats, throw them in the dryer, and get them something to eat."
Yeah.
Who was that guy? Donald Trump.
Wow.
Well, you said it like this ties into almost like we planned it. What I said earlier, it's about parenting, okay? And when you tell the story, like you start out talking about your dad, and I say it all the time. You've seen it. Like when I talk about like the military and stuff, I'm like, my own man came over. My grandfather's did, but my father was a farmer. My mother was a teacher. My father was in the military. He never went to college. He went to trade school for electrical work, and I fondly recall that. And they put in instilled in us a work ethic. You hear kids now, oh, my parents, like 90% of them, I would argue, are complaining about their parents or they don't understand them and all this stuff. And to add one more thing about the free enterprise, I still like capitalism. Like, You said it. Your dad's like, you have to be perfect. You have to be consistent. And he had to be because he was competing with someone who would be more perfect and could be more consistent. But when I'm Mom Downey and I'm like, hey, don't worry about that. We're going to have the collectivism is we'll have movers do it for you. And we'll just wait. And it doesn't need to be better.
The generation of capitalism and builders, this is the last one. Unless we save the country, Trump is no lower taxes, no tax, Social Security, capital gains. He's racking it up. He's helping everything he can for us. And they continue to spin and lie about it. He's a capitalist to the 10th degree. He's a very smart businessman. I believe in the next 4 months we're going to see a major change. Now, my sons are all workers. I don't know how it was. They watched me work. That's what my one son said. He goes, Dad, you were the hardest working man I ever seen. On the truck, off the truck, I was carrying it and out. Always kept in great shape. I didn't have to go to the gym like Gino and skip rope. I was carrying triple dresses up a flight of stairs.
Yeah, you got your workout in at work.
This guy, he's got some of the biggest forearms I know from lifting those beers.
He was sitting on I don't know, his fire escape, petting his pussy.
That's right.
I don't know what that was about.
Promoting this place.
Was that a business expense?
I start out the day with a coffee, a cigar, and I pet my pussy, and I head to the good place.
Oh, my.
America First Warehouse.
Sorry, Steve.
Wait, it's your show, Joe. You can say anything you want. You can say anything you want here.
It was a black and white kitty.
So here,
Mostly white, Joe.
Here is an anecdote I use when I talk to college kids and try to tell them why free enterprise and capitalism works better. And the word capital, it means something. Imagine, our class of 30 people are on, the minnow, Gilligan's Island. It gets trashed.
I remember
We're
that.
on the island, okay? So we have to survive. We start off with this collectivism.
Now, am I Gilligan? Obviously, I'm not the professor.
You're not Mary Ann.
Are you Ginger or Mary Ann? I gotta know. Ginger.
ain't no
I was
Mary
a
Ann.
Ginger.
It was always Mary Ann.
Ginger and
That was
Mary
the
Ann.
beautiful one, but she was too much for me.
I don't know how we got diverted.
I
But
think
anyway,
as you got older, you got more into Mary Ann.
we're on the island, okay? So now you're picking berries.
Certainly not Mr. Howell.
You're farming a little bit and you're sharing the stuff. You survive. You barely survive, but you get by sharing it all equally, right? But then you wander over the hill and you see there's a farmer there on this island. And he's got this equipment, this tractor, and the farmer says, I'll tell you what, I'll loan you my farm equipment. You give me 10% of your harvest. They take it in. They triple their harvest. That's what capitalism is.
Is this the episode when they found the radioactive vegetables and Gilligan was really sure? Okay.
If they invented the radio, how come the professor would create the radio and they'd never get rescued 5 years later?
Can we please do an
don't
entire
understand
episode on
that.
this next time I'm on? This is fantastic.
But you get that. I try to tell them, well, when you borrow that money, you're tripling your output. Yeah, the farmer got richer. He got his 10%, but you got infinitely richer too. That's the idea of the pie growing under capitalism and free enterprise. They don't have a pie that grows in North Korea. They're all equally poor.
Yep.
In America or South Korea, you have some people making $1 trillion, some people a lot less, but our lower class lives better than their regular folk. And that's the beauty of the free enterprise system. It's constantly growing. And you're proof of that, Joe.
Yeah, it's a great time for me. I was blessed, and God gave us, certain talents. Not all of us, Gino, but, most of us get certain talents. And,
really
we're
good.
supposed to take those talents and double, triple them, okay? My sons, I am blessed by them. They understand this, and they are the hardest working men. My new company right now, not my old company, is being run by my son. So here's the next phase of entrepreneurship at work, a family business, and my son's taking it over. It's a wonderful thing. But when we come back, let's talk about the expenses.
Oh, yeah. And how government is one of the biggest impediments to the private sector expanding and getting better wages and more affordability. As we said before, Gino, and we'll talk about it more later, it's the government that's responsible for the unaffordability. We'll see you back in 3 minutes.
Me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic place in all the land. Hey, I'm here getting cleansed up. You know why? Because Sugar Creek Goods is a great place by patriots, making patriot soaps, making me smell nice. And that's what's nice. Who wants to go down the street and smell of somebody bad in New York City? Hey, by the way,
What's this thing for?
250 years ago, a nation was born, built on courage, driven by freedom, defined by patriots who stood their ground. Today, we don't just remember that legacy, we wear it. This is more than a shirt. It's a symbol of strength, freedom, and pride. I'm Steve Stern, COO of theflagshirt.com, and I invite you to celebrate 250 years of the United States with us. Wear your pride, stand for something, get your shirts today.
You know what is more disappointing than Gino Bisconte, everyone?
My sex life?
No, bad cell service. Let's make fun of Gino. Oh, wait, he's here.
Well, speaking of the opposite of his sex life, these people have towers that are huge and they're everywhere. And while you're traveling, you can use these huge towers. PatriotMobile.com / it bends to the right. I don't have to tell you. TAFW. And then you can talk about me behind my back.
Patriotic people doing patriotic things.
Today is a good day to be free.
It's me, Joe the Box, and I'm John the Blanket with the America First podcast.
That's what I'm talking about. The Fred Rubino podcast coming to you from the America First warehouse.
Welcome, everybody, to the James Justice Show, tearing these airwaves apart with all the craziness that goes on in the world.
Welcome to the Patriots podcast. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the On the Right Side podcast here at the America First warehouse in Long Island, New York.
Shane Jenkins here with another episode of Liberty's Cage.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to our podcast, Red, Right, and True.
We are streaming live on America First Media and Television app.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Downey Jr. podcast. Be free, stay free.
The America First warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
All right, folks, you're back on the Right Side podcast. It's here every Wednesday, the America First Warehouse, live at 4 o'clock. We're into our last segment here, the last 15 minutes. I'm Steve Levy, former county executive, former state assemblyman, the executive director of the fiscally conservative think tank, Center for Cost-Effective Government. We have the one, the only legend in his own mind, comedian here, Gino Bisconte.
Hey, it's good to be here, buddy.
Yeah. And then Joe the Box, the man who makes all of this possible, and a real patriot and a capitalist, a guy who's trying to convince this younger generation that communism is a very, very scary thing. And Joe, the best way I think we can educate these young people, because God knows they're not getting educated in our schools, is to note that, nobody in America is leaving this country to go to Cuba, to go to Venezuela, to go to North Korea, to go to any of these socialist countries. And please stop saying Sweden and Norway are socialist countries. They're not. They're private enterprise. They have high tax rates, but that's what they are. But, I guess the thing to say to these young kids, Joe, is you take so many things for granted that you have in this country. And I don't know, you're old enough to remember this, Gino, but not Joe. Joe's a youngin' here, okay?
Kiddo.
Boris Yeltsin, the premier, the president of Russia, I guess you'd call him president at the time, he comes to America in the late 80s, early 90s, and he's just bowled over by all of the things, the quantity and the quality of our goods when he goes to a supermarket. Hey, Bill, up in the box, show us this video. It'll blow your mind for some of you young guys who never saw this. Talk about why capitalism and free enterprise works.
Did you know that Jell-O pudding pops played a role in dismantling communism in the former Soviet Union? Back in 1989, Boris Yeltsin, a high-up communist politician, made a trip to the United States. This was 2 years before he became president of the Soviet Union. At the time, he was shown a NASA space station and had other important meetings with government officials. But of everything he saw, it It was a trip to a simple American grocery store called Randall's that would prove to be the most important. Yeltsin and his team dropped in with little notice to the grocery store in Texas. He was shocked at the huge selection of food that was available to everyday people in the U.S. Just look how excited he is here to see some simple frozen treats like Jell-O pudding pops. According to media, Yeltsin told his colleagues that if the Russian people saw how superior U.S. supermarkets were, quote, there would be a revolution.
That's good enough.
Unlike in
Bill.
Russia, American customers
Look at
didn't
those
have to wait in
lines.
line
Look at
for
those
hours.
lines. So Joe, we're kind of seeing this a little bit with the World Cup, right? Where these young people are coming over and they say, "Oh my God, Costco, Waffle House, Golden Corral."
Oh, I hope they didn't go to Waffle House. Oh,
It's dangerous.
oh my God, they would have seen some athletic moves there.
Taco
Jesus.
Bell.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I think that was a pretty good take from the people that came to the country and to support their teams and how they rallied in New York City and stuff. I don't know how they did the Muslim prayer at 12 o'clock when the Argentina Spanish team was there rooting on their team. But yeah, those, and it's all over social media. And I'll just take my word for it. I see and I discern and I look and I see the happiness, and they're blown away that we have supermarkets. What was some of the best some of the best food places they went to? They couldn't believe it. I think it was Buc-ee's, truck stop. If you ever been to there, that's a good one too. It's the cleanest beef jerky place you can ever find. Gino, you like beef jerky?
Yeah, I've been to a truck stop for jerky. What?
It's
What
true
did I
though.
say?
I think it was exit 57
Might have
on the
been, might have been a
expressway.
rest stop, not a
Better
truck
not
stop.
be on the expressway.
But yeah, it's amazing. Everyone, like you saw so many videos of people just, wow, this country is amazing because
It is amazing.
because they want that's what's going on. Like with the propaganda you opened the show talking about against this country, and a lot of it is coming out of this country, which is unforgivable. That gets back to them not televising the president. It's insane how they got away so long under that last administration where the president never showed his face. So people are like, they just don't understand. And I'll say it again. Every time Donald Trump opens his mouth, I want to punch Joe Biden in his. It's that simple. It's that simple. He'll be up at 4 a.m, leaning against the doorway of Air Force One, answering questions, and people question that man's intellect.
But you know what else, Joe? These young people have to understand, well, they're having resentment on Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and all these guys. All the things they take for granted, their phone, their iPad, but the delivery that they get from DoorDash, or they call up Amazon and say, "Get me that sweater," and they have it in like 4 hours. That's capitalism, right?
Yeah.
Bezos got rich because you can now get your sweater in an hour. Steve Jobs got rich because this has changed your world, some for better or for worse. But all the innovations in the world, Joe, they emanate from America because people have an incentive to innovate, right? That's what capitalism is.
Businesses, yeah, you got those great guys with brilliant brains. They're so smart. They dissect spreadsheets and understand all of that. But then you got your common man that wants to run a business, like your plumber or your electrician or your, whatever these local people you need. Now, I have trying to get some work. My father-in-law may have to move in with us. So I want to redo the bathroom. And it's like, it's a small bathroom, but it's going to be like $15,000 to make. So I'm like, that's entrepreneurship because I can't build the bathroom. I got to pay it now. Good businessman. And I got a great guy that's going to do it. And we look for some pricing. We're going to cut what we can and different tiles and things like that. But he's doing a great job. He's running his business. This guy does them all over the place. And he runs a great business.
But it comes down to, Gino, how the government is, and the Marxists and the socialists, they just want to control everything in our lives. So the simplest thing, like just building a little extension on your bathroom, becomes $15,000, and it's just unaffordable.
Well,
and one day when you get indoor plumbing,
not
you're
gonna
going to
happen.
know what we're talking
That's
about.
why I looked at him. I'm insane. I'm like, how much does a new bucket cost?
Yeah.
But that's just it. The more that these idiots that are socialists that are voting for people like Mamdani, the more that these people give consent to be controlled, the more shocked they are when people that can think for themselves push back against being controlled. They're like, what are you doing? They think it's insane.
That same bathroom under Trump's first term would only cost me about $6,000.
Yeah. Joe, this was another anecdote I talk about all the time. When I was in the state assembly, right, I was a moderate from the island. and this is when I was a Democrat. Don't tell me the ceiling will not fall
Gross.
down. But
Any Democrats in here?
You had the conservatives from upstate. You had conservative Democrats upstate, and you had the Marxists from the city. And you'd be in the caucus, and we'd all be together talking about this and the other thing, and they were talking about the budget. And it was so funny because the Marxists who would publicly bash Wall Street and all the entrepreneurs, they would secretly say, oh, God, I hope that there's a good Wall Street year. Why? Because when those fat cats on Wall Street, the brokers, were making moolah, big moolah, you'd tax them and you'd fill up the government coffers with all this money that would be distributed for all of their programs, blah, blah, blah. The point being, the better that the economy does, the better that Wall Street does, the better everyone does, because it really does percolate, filter down the system.
And who lost over $11 billion in tax revenue from the people that left the state? I'll give you a hint. It rhymes with right fucking here. They all left under Mamdani. Everyone's going to Florida, and I don't blame them. They're literally, and where does that tax burden fall on? The middle class. That's it. And I love the poor. Like, I heard Mamdani cut like EBT, whatever they're called, benefits. I'm sure I'll find out soon enough if this keeps up. But he cut their benefits too. The idiots, well, you saw who voted for him. But he's going after everyone because the rich are smart enough to leave.
Can I tell you how excited I am to have Kami Mamdani run in New York City? I'm very excited.
That's all you ever talk about.
Being in the moving and storage business, the phone rings off the hook. Get me out of here, Joe. Get me a truck. Pack me up. What is it going to take? You know what I told him? $15,000.
And that'll pay for your bathroom.
Thank you very much.
Perfect. Absolutely.
I like Mamdani.
He's fantastic for you.
Oh, my God. My God.
That's fantastic,
terrible. The
Joe.
oligarchy. But it is scary because the younger generation is so influenced by TikTok, which is controlled by the Chinese communists.
This is Glenn Beck said it. This is what controls people now. It really does. Sorry to interrupt you, but it this
used to be newspaper, radio, movies, whatever, but that's
But newspapers, and you know this, didn't have an algorithm. Newspapers didn't hear you say you need.
But they had leftist Marxists running them.
Wait till you see how many toilet ads you get on your phone now because it heard you talk about.
That's exactly right.
Honest to God.
But it's so important to educate these young people that, when Democrat John Kennedy cut taxes in the 60s, we got more revenue back into the federal government and wages went up. When Ronald Reagan did it in the 80s, same thing. When Donald Trump did it in 2017 and then extended it in 2025, you get more money into the government and businesses do better and they can pay their workers more. Look, if you're a worker and they're working for Joe, and or they're working for Joe's competitor, let's say, okay? And all these moving companies are doing well, thank you, Mamdani, okay? When you're a worker and you go to your boss and say, hey, I want a raise, if the economy sucks and the competition is not doing well, you're not getting a raise. But if the economy's doing well, you can say, hey, I'm going to go work for Joe, and he'll pay me more. And that's the way the market works.
Yeah, Joe runs the finest moving company that there is in the land, and I pay my guys more than they get anyplace else. That's where I keep them. Carlos has been with me 20 years. El Bico. I bought them all motorcycles during the pandemic. I take care of my employees. That's one of the great things about capitalism. It's not about me so much. My team is together because I have great people, and that's how it works. And Corporate Transfer and Storage, www.corporatetransfer and storage, supports this place, the America First. You can help them by getting them a move. We'll move you out of New York tomorrow.
Thanks, Joe, for supporting this whole network and for being such a great example of how free enterprise works. And, Gino, you, too, are a great...
I'm something.
The epitome of capitalism. You got 10 seconds. Take us out without getting a cancel.
I'll be here in 2 hours on Red, White, and True. Thank you for always letting me come by and chat. Always good hanging.
I love you, Gino.
Thanks again, Joe. We'll see you next week, gang.